like passion, hard work? Like,
Uh, actually, I didn't want to necessarily celebrate or kind of highlight my 25 years because it's just a number, Though it's relative, parang you just want to keep on going. So those 25 years, that I've been blessed with, parang it's nice to kind of reminisce or look back and just be grateful for it. But I think the driving force was always, you have to work, you have to do something, you have to be better, you have to grow. So that was the constant thing in my head. So.
yeah, and we've seen that in the projects that you got yourself in the last year alone. So given the first one, let's kick it off, with Ibarra, the musical.
Actually, I was upstairs while waiting for the call here. Sinisip ko kasi sabi ko, ang joke ko this year parang most promising old actor. Sa dami ng ginagawa ko. I said yes to everything. I guess it was brought about by the pandemic. We got so bored not doing anything. And then nagkaroon naman ng chance to already do taping. And there was a constant demand for new content. So ang daming platform na nagbukas. So ang daming opportunities, especially for us from the showbiz industry. Nagsunod-sunod naman. So it actually started with Chef Chico. That was my first. We shot it first quarter of the year, and then I jumped right away to The Ride, the film that I did with Kyle, and it's with Cornerstone and Spring Films. And then I went to Ibarra. So when I said yes to Ibarra, it was I think 6 months before we actually started rehearsing. Same thing with Malyari. When I signed with Malyari, it was the day after Ibarra, but we were filming 4 months after. So my schedule was pretty planned out long before everything transpired. Basically, 6 months to a year, nakakasa na siya. So from Ibarra, I said I needed to take a break because it was different. It's all new to me. First time I ever did a musical. So it kind of took its toll on my body and my mental being because I had to really dig deep and immerse myself. So I went on a vacation for a month. But nag-tour pa kami ng All-Star naman na Cornerstone sa States din. And then, so after Ibarra, I signed on for Malyari. And then as soon as I got back from my vacation, then na Milan, dinerecho ko na yung Malyari. So, yun.
So before we jump right into Malyari, kasi so much has been released before that. Pero I want to focus first on yung Ibarra.
Yeah.
Like, how different was that experience? Because I heard that in college, you used to do theater.
Yeah.
And now, like, siguro after how many years that you've been doing like TV, diba? And the big screen, now you're vulnerable on stage.
I guess stage has always been my first love. It was my, it was a night opener for me when I started doing theater in grade school and then high school, all the way to college in UST. I just had this feeling that I wanted to act. So theater was my way in. But then my friends from teatro were the ones who encouraged me to audition in ABS, Star Magic or Star Circle. But anyway, so I was doing theater in college sa Teatro Tomasino. And then, nung naging busy ako sa TV, sa films, every so often I'd get offers from different companies to do theater, to do stage, be it musical or straight play. I just never had the time. And finally, during the pandemic, for some strange reason, man, I got a call and then they asked if I was okay for a pitching. It just fell into place. I said, I've always wanted to do a musical. That's one thing I wanted to check off my bucket list. And then it just pitched Cancer. Cancer was the original title, which I saw back in high school. So sabi ko, I've always liked the novel. I read it, I taught it in high school. So nung pinitch sa akin, sabi ko, perfect, because I've always wanted to do a Rizal type of thing. So sabi ko, sige, I said yes without thinking. And little did I know, it was like 95% sung. I thought it was a straight play with some songs, so I had to really dig deep and I didn't accept any work for it. And it was like going back to school. And it was like going back to training because iba talaga yung disiplina. For 1 month, nag-check-in ako sa hotel, hindi ako umalis, doon lang ako malapit sa GSIS, and I just rehearsed every day. I did voice lessons every day, and I hung out with the theater people just to really immerse myself. And yeah, it was well worth it.
Would you say that that experience made you feel more alive than ever when it comes to like acting?
It made me feel as if there's chance for us Filipinos to really showcase our talents, not just abroad but here. We have so many great performers that we have to export. And you know, we have the opportunity here. So I guess that's why theater community is thriving, because there's so much talent here. And what it taught me is really discipline. And yeah, it made me feel more alive in terms of, you know, acting, because iba-ibang medium yan eh. And for me to be able to do stage and come out alive, parang for me, yes, now I can breathe. But you know, definitely, you know, it's a lot of lessons that I learned. You know, I had to be a student from day one. Talagang everything was new to me. Everything was a learning experience. So it was great. Yeah.
But concisely, like, how do you think that experience added to your craft as an actor and a singer?
Let me just put it this way. When I came onto the Malyari set, I was nervous because I was always nervous when I was doing IBARRA. But that kind of triggered my intensity and to really just channel my passion into for me to be able to execute the scene well. So with IBARRA, there's no take two. Everything was take one. So even on a bad day, you have to perform. So grabe lang yung disiplina na talaga na-instill sa akin. With that, nadala ko siya all the way after IBARRA. It humbled me. It made me realize that, you know, you can't always rest in your laurels. I mean, you know, the only way to get over yourself is to think out of the box and do something different. Kasi pwede mong sabihin, okay na ako, I can settle. But the thing is, if you don't really get out of your comfort zone, you'll never know how far you can go and how much you can push yourself further.
Sorry, can I kind of extrapolate on that then? You said it's one of the ways that you can get over yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because sometimes when you think that you've done a lot, you've done so many things, you've achieved a lot, parang you're okay na. But the thing is, if you settle there, then there's not going to be any more growth. Diba? Kung mag-settle ka lang sa magaling na ako, ang dami ko na nagawa sa buhay ko, may pera na ako, pahinga na ako, bakit? So, you know, that's why it humbles me every time I take on a new character, a new work, or such as this, and then Malyari. It was hard. I had sleepless nights, literal sleepless nights. But I took it on because I wanted to challenge myself.
And speaking of like taking new things on, like making sure that you proactively pursue that, you were also part of Brillante Mendoza's star-studded Moro,
Yeah.
which recently screened at the Busan International Film Festival. So what was that like for you this time around?
All right, so the story behind it was he wanted me to do this film, Bangsamoro, originally, and we were gonna shoot in Mindanao, but Mr. M didn't allow me to shoot in Mindanao. So, but then Brillante said, I really want PIOLO in the film, so we had to compromise. I said, siguro probably I'll do the movie, pero I can only shoot in Manila. So what he did, he gave the role to Barra. For me, you know, doing scenes with him, it was just really amazing. And then I'm playing his brother. So we transposed from Mindanao to Tanay, yung mga scenes namin together. And I worked with Direk Luis, I worked with Tito Bo. So with Dante, it was a different experience altogether because he makes you do improv. So when we did one reshoot, he explained to us, so PIOLO, this is what's gonna happen. Ito yung scene, mag-aaway kayo dito ni Baron, kasama mo si Ina, and then yung asawa, si Beauty Gonzales pala yung asawa ko, and then there's Ina, asawa naman yung isa na parang, it's a family conflict. And sabi niya, ito yung mangyayari. So sabi ko, nasa yung script? I kept asking for the script, the sequence, wala nagbibigay. And then only to find out na, oh, kaya nyo na yan, bahala na kayo. Eh ako yung maraming sasabihin, paano to?
Super impromptu.
Impromptu siya.
Yeah.
So it's good. It was a good exercise. You know, you really have to know your character. You really have to know what you're doing to be able to communicate the scene well and to convey the message that he wants to convey to the audience.
And doesn't that also require like a whole lot of background, technical study then?
What I do is I always make it a point to give a backstory to my character so that I know myself better, I know where I'm coming from, I know who I am and what I'm doing in the scene. Otherwise, I talk to my director, I talk to my co-actor, and I keep reading the script.
You know what, listening to you